The last patch. He thought he was winning tournaments. He was actually conquering nations. Act 1. The game that ended war. Chapter 1. Player 1 ascends. The sky above Neo Tokyo was made of screens tonight. Every tower, every hovering billboard, every reflective panel on the transit rails shimmered with the same looping footage. Kai Mercer lowering his visor, tightening his gloves, and stepping into the cradle of the world's most powerful gaming machine. He hadn't even begun the match yet, and still the city pulsed like it was holding its breath. Inside the arena sphere, the roar hit him like heat. A billion-viewer audience did not sound like applause. It sounded like weather, like an incoming storm, a pressure system built from human adoration and violent expectation. Kai stood at center stage, letting the storm wash over him in controlled waves. His heart knew the rhythm. His body had been trained for it since 16. But something in the air tonight felt different. Charged, electric, subtly misaligned. Patch 10.9 always ran smooth. Yet this evening, even before he linked in, a faint echo pulsed behind each sound, as if reality itself held a tiny latency. His handler, Jenna, approached with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You're trending in 138 countries," she said. "The world wants a perfect run. When didn't they?" Kai slid into the neural cradle. Smooth metal curved behind his spine, locking gently as the cables synced with his suit. He felt the microcurrents rise through the connection ports on his neck, a cold brush of contact, then the deep pull that always came just before immersion. "Mercer online," he said. The system recognized him instantly. The crowd's roar deepened as the visor descended over his face and the world dissolved into the light of the patch. The battlefield arrived with absolute clarity. A ruined metropolis under twilight, rooftops cracked and leaning, sheets of digital dust drifting down long-abandoned avenues. This mission map, SimCity E75, was infamous for its complexity, its vertical combat layers, and its final objective: infiltrate the central tower and eliminate the opposing team's command core. Kai's squad loaded in beside him, their avatars pulsing with readiness. Blitz, Arrow, Monk, all veterans, all killers, all depending on him. He swallowed. The taste of adrenaline was metal, sharp as a blade on his tongue. "Eyes up," Kai said, voice steady. "We're doing this clean," Blitz laughed softly. "You always say that, and I'm always right." The mission timer hit 0. War exploded into motion. Kai sprinted through a collapsing alleyway, his movements mirrored by the haptic rig anchoring his real body. Every step was a fused dance of thought and instinct. Gunfire lit the darkness ahead, blue tracer lines slicing across his path. He vaulted a shattered car, rolled beneath a collapsing billboard, and came up firing. Enemy down. 2 more flanked from the left. He anticipated their path before they made it. Patch instinct, raw muscle memory polished into sixth sense. His rounds cut them down clean. "Mercer's hot," Monk said. Clearing east, they moved like a single organism, mapping angles, clearing rooms, scaling floors. But as they ascended the tower's lower levels, something strange unfolded. Enemy movements were slower, more predictable. The simulation felt heavier, the physics slightly too real. When Kai kicked through a door on floor 27, he felt the resistance not as digital input, but as something with density and weight. "Patch latency's up," he muttered. "Feels like a heartbeat behind my own." "Probably just the crowd load," Arrow replied. "Half the planet's watching, maybe." But Kai had never felt this. Not once. They breached the upper corridor. Ahead, the final chamber flickered with the enemy's red holographic shields. The objective node sat behind them, thrumming like a heartbeat. Kai closed his eyes for a breath. Now. He burst forward, sliding beneath a volley of suppressing fire. Blitz hurled an EMP sphere that detonated in a bloom of white. Monk dropped from above in a controlled dive. Arrow pinned the last defender to a wall. Then it happened. A new feeling, jolting, visceral, hit Kai as he fired into the command core. Not the familiar vibration of victory. Not the clean shutdown of simulation. Something deeper. He felt the tower fall. The floor cracked beneath him. The entire digital skyline trembled, as if the simulation were anchored to something real, something far heavier than code. A shockwave rippled through the environment, the kind of wave physics engines were not designed to simulate. "Kai, what the hell was that?" Blitz asked. I don't know, but he did know. Somewhere beneath his disbelief, beneath years of training and denial, a cold recognition unfurled like smoke. This felt like destruction. Actual destruction. Mission complete flashed across his visor. Fireworks of synthetic confetti erupted. The audience screamed his name. He should have basked in it, should have lifted his arms in triumph. Instead, he tore off the visor before the system fully disengaged. The arena sphere's roar slammed into him again. Jenna bounded up, ecstatic. "Another perfect run," she said. "The sponsors are losing their minds." Kai stepped back. His hands were shaking. "Patch latency isn't that real," he said. She blinked. "What are you talking about?" I felt the tower fall. Felt it. That wasn't simulation physics. Jenna's smile froze for a microsecond, a single half-frame of fear. Then the arena sphere screens erupted. Breaking news. A headline split across 100,000 glowing surfaces. Unexplained structural collapse in Eastern Europe. City Block 29 falls at 21:06 local time, identical to tonight's SimCity E75 strike. Identical. Kai stared, unable to breathe. The footage was unmistakable. The same tower. The same collapse sequence. Dust rising in the same spiraling vortex he had just watched inside the game. He whispered, "No." The crowd around him continued cheering. They didn't see the broadcast yet. They didn't see their champion's face drain of color. They didn't see Jenna subtly turn off her headset, receiving a private line. Security teams were already moving. Kai stepped backward, heart kicking against his ribs. His voice came out as a whisper. "What did we just do?" Jenna's expression flattened into something stranger, colder. The look of someone instructed not to answer. "Kai," she said tightly. "Come with me." He didn't move. Then the arena sphere lights flickered. Just once. Like the world blinked. Something inside him cracked. He turned and ran. Behind him, the screen still showed his perfect victory. And below it, the real city, collapsing in sync. Chapter 2. The crowd of a billion, the city swallowed him whole. Kai pushed through the service exit beneath the arena sphere, the door slamming shut behind him with the hiss of pressure seals re-engaging. Outside, Neo-Tokyo shimmered like a hallucination. Skyscrapers flaring with animated overlays, drones humming overhead like metallic insects, streets washed in neon blue that reflected off the wet pavement. And everywhere, his face. Billboards replayed the moment he breached the tower. Transit rails pulsed with his silhouette mid-jump. Even the windows of passing mag trams carried his victory montage like some civic duty of worship. The crowd of a billion wasn't a metaphor. It was the real number of people streaming, cheering, typing, buying, consuming. And right now, every single one of them believed he had saved the world again. His comm implant buzzed with the rising flood of notifications. Sponsors. Interview requests. Government commendations. Military broadcasts repurposing his victory clip as evidence of global strategic stability. He muted everything. Above him, a rotating holo ad expanded across a 90-story tower, showing Kai's avatar surrounded by drifting petals and a voiceover whispering, "Peace is a game we can win." He wanted to tear the whole screen down. A fleet of Omniplay drones drifted along the boulevard, each projecting real-time statistics across their transparent panels. Kill-death ratios, map percentages, fan-voted highlights. One of them hovered near Kai, identifying him. Its corporate-friendly tone chimed out. "Congratulations, Kai Mercer. Your flawless performance reinforces international peace protocols." "Not now," he muttered. The drone followed anyway. "Public sentiment is at a record high. 98% of viewers approve of your humanitarian strike." Humanitarian strike. He swallowed the taste of those words. They scraped down his throat like gravel. Kai stepped off the main street, weaving through a narrow food corridor, overflowing with the scent of spiced noodles and fried soy. Shopkeepers called his name as he passed. Some tried to hand him gifts, others held out children for photos. Kai, my son watches you every night before bed. We all feel safer because of you. Please, just one autograph. He forced a tight smile, nodding as he moved. Each expression felt like a small betrayal. They saw a hero. He saw the replay of the collapsing tower, burning behind his eyes like after-image scars. A giant public holo display lit up above the marketplace. A broadcast anchor appeared, dressed in a white uniform meant to signify neutrality. Her voice radiated calm authority. "Breaking update," she said. "The Defense Coalition has confirmed that structural instability, not conflict, caused the collapse in Eastern Europe tonight. No casualties reported. This coincidental alignment with the SimCity E75 match further demonstrates the predictive accuracy of the patch." Predictive accuracy. The lie slid across the crowd like a warm blanket. People nodded, reassured. Kai felt his stomach turn. Another anchor took over, standing before footage of his match. Once again, Kai Mercer proves that strategic conflict simulation is humanity's greatest pathway to peace. His leadership continues to prevent real-world bloodshed. Kai stopped walking. Prevent. The word echoed in his skull until it felt absurdly loud. He replayed the sound from earlier, the vibration, the tremor, the uncanny weight of the virtual structure collapsing. Nothing about it had been simulation physics. It felt like truth bleeding through a wall too thin to hold it. "Kai Mercer?" a voice called behind him. He turned sharply. Two young fans, maybe 14, stood with armfuls of patch merch. Their eyes shone as if seeing a mythical creature. "You saved us again," one of them said. Kai almost told them. The words gathered at the edge of his tongue, heavy as confession. But across the street, a new broadcast cut through the air. Commander Drax Holland himself, framed by the omnipresent Omniplay insignia. He spoke with the calm precision of someone who believed he was reshaping civilization. "The patch ensures a world without casualties," Holland said. "Under our guidance, no nation need ever fire a real weapon again. We thank Kai Mercer, our global peace champion, for safeguarding humanity's tomorrow." The fans looked up at Kai with awe and something deeper. Faith. If he said one wrong thing, their worlds would shatter. He could break 1 billion hearts with a single sentence. And yet the truth pressed against his ribs, desperate to escape. "Are you okay?" the older fan asked. "You look different," Kai inhaled slowly. "Long match. I should go." Their faces fell, but he didn't give them a chance to linger. He ducked down a side alley, where the noise of the crowd thinned into the hum of refrigeration units and street lamps buzzing with low-frequency light. The propaganda machine didn't let him go. It never did. His face appeared again on a nearby wall as a projection mapped onto the concrete. He watched himself firing the final shot, watched the tower buckle under him. The footage cut to his victory pose. The crowd's roar was inserted as background audio. He stared at his own digital reflection, dissecting the frame. The precision, the synchronicity, the way his avatar's perspective matched the real collapse almost timestamp for timestamp. It was too perfect. Far too perfect. A neon sign crackled nearby, and for a moment, the alley flickered into contrasting darkness. He exhaled heavily. He needed answers. He needed someone who wasn't paid to smile at him. The mention from earlier floated into his mind, a whisper buried beneath the arena sphere noise. A blind message. He pulled up the residual feed on his wrist display. The encrypted packet Lyra had sent in that single impossible moment still sat there, unopened. He hesitated only once before cracking the seal. Inside, a single line blinked in stark white. "You didn't simulate it. You executed it." His pulse pounded against his skin. Another line appeared beneath the first, time-stamped exactly 30 seconds ago. "They're looking for you." Then a second message. "Get off the streets. Now." He looked up sharply. The alley lights dimmed. The distant crowd noise fell away. A low mechanical hum drifted in from the boulevard. Omniplay security drones. Not the broadcast ones. The enforcement ones. The ones players never saw unless something had gone wrong. Kai stepped backward, instinct burning through his limbs. The global machine had crowned him a peacemaker, but he could feel the ground shifting beneath the propaganda, feel the weight of truth pressing through the seams. A lifetime of heroic narrative had been wrapped around him like armor. Tonight, it cracked. A drone shadow fell across the alley mouth, scanning. Kai ran. And above him, Neo Tokyo continued its celebration, broadcasting the illusion of a hero who no longer believed in the story.